Hello, my name is Tom Stiles, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show number 94. This time I wrote it down right here so I wouldn't forget. So, in the last show, which was a teaser, I know I don't like teasers either, but I wanted to kind of get you in the mood. I talked about I was going to review in the next couple of shows 3 shortwave radios. 2 in the category of inexpensive radios, and 1 radio that I got from MFJ as a demo to review. So, these 2 radios are the 2 radios I'm going to review right now. And what I'm going to do, or attempt to do, is I'm going to talk about the features of the radios and why every time I go to tape a show does my weather station tell me what the temperature is, invariably. Anyway, so I was going to review the features of the 2 radios on individual shows, and then per a suggestion from one of my subscribers, I was going to tape a show at night when reception is better and compare the 2 radios side by side in their reception capability. So that's the three shows that are coming up, and then later on I'm going to do a review of the MFJ radio. So anyway, for no further ado, I've set up a report card for these radios, and I don't know if I'm covering everything, but this is the things I thought of. And if you have any suggestions of other things I should be looking at, send me a comment, and then on the next show I'll try to include that and include it for the one I've already done that I forgot to do it on. So anyway, here's the scorecard, and see if we can get it straight here. So I'm going to look at look and feel of the radio. I'm going to look at the readability of the display and the buttons and everything, and I'm a good one for testing this because my readability ain't that good. Then I'm going to look at the power options and tuning. Now, I'm not going to look at reception here. I'm just going to look at tuning. How do you tune the radio? How easy it is to tune, whatever. I'm going to look at the audio quality. And then I'm going to look at, and again, I'm going to look at it from on this initial show, or 2 shows, I'm going to look at it from AM/FM standpoint, because I can receive those during the day with no problem. And then when I do the comparison side by side, then I'll go back and reassess the audio quality of the shortwave, and then the overall audio quality. So that's audio quality. Take a look at any special features that just happens to come with the radio. I'm not looking for special features that it would have. Just I'm going to list or talk about the special features it has compared to the other one. Then, like I said before, then I'll do after I go over the 2 radios, then I'll do a 3rd show to compare reception of the 2 radios. And I'm speaking of shortwave, of course, because we can get some idea of reception of AM and FM today. And then I'll give it each radio a final grade. So that's what I'm going to look at. So with no further ado, we're going to take the first radio. It is this Coby. And again, keep in mind, these 2 radios are under $12, just under $12 from Amazon. So I'm not going to try to be critical on these radios compared to a $304 or $400 radio. I'm just going to try to compare them to each other and try to be subjective in that these are only $12. So keep that in mind. So anyway, here's the Coby. It's a model CX-CB12 CX-CB12. So that's the model. I got this off of Amazon, under 12 bucks. What caught my eye about this one is it has, for shortwave, it has 12 bands. 12 bands. So you think, man, with 12 bands, then it should be pretty good on tuning. So that's what caught my eye, 12 bands. Now that's that includes AM, FM, one long wave band, and then the other 9 are shortwave bands. So that's the bands. So first thing we're going to look at is look and feel. And I'm trying my best to give you a good shot of these radios. Now, look and feel of this radio. Number one, it's much smaller than I thought it would be. And I have to correct myself when I said in the other video that Amazon doesn't give dimensions. Well, they do. And I was just looking in the wrong place. They're there. Should have seen it. My bad. So they do give dimensions. So there should have been no surprise of the size because the dimensions are right there. So it's pretty small, pretty compact, which is a good thing or a bad thing. If you want to put this on your nightstand next to you, next to your bed, doesn't take up much room, that's a good thing. It does make it a little more difficult, and I'll talk about that later, especially for this radio. Okay, so that's kind of the size, and the plastic feels, pretty good. It's not, real flimsy plastic. The display is kind of small. And the thing is, again, look and feel, it's, if I hold it under a lamp, I can read it with no problem. But if I take it away from a direct lighting, and even in the daytime right now, indoors of course, I can't read it. It's just too dark. I don't know if you can see that, but the lettering is gray, and it's gray on black and gray on gray, different shade of gray. So it's really, for me, hard to read. It has no backlighting, no lighting whatsoever. So for me, I have to take it under a lamp to read it, or turn an overhead light on to read it. It's very difficult to read. Okay, so that's readability. Band selection. Okay, band selection is done by this selector here, and what it does is as you push this across here, and it has detents, there's a number up here across the top that gets illuminated. I don't know, you probably can't see it, but right now that number in this band is illuminated, which is band 2. So that's how you select the bands. Now, what's interesting is this is totally mechanical, the selection. Okay, no big deal there. But also this indicator across the top is a slider, a mechanical slider to show you the band. Not a big deal. And it's that one number on the whole display. You can kind of see it standing out there. That's readable. Most of the other stuff is not. Now, the thing is, for instance, if they would have made these numbers, the frequency numbers, in white, so it had been white on gray and white on black, I probably could have read it without special lighting. So anyway, the one really, really negative thing about feel and look about this radio is the tuning knob. Oops, the tuning knob is right here, and it is extremely stiff to the point, and I think it's getting less stiff over time, but the other night when I was trying to find frequencies, or find radio shows, programs, whatever, within about 5 or 6 minutes, my fingers got sore from trying to turn this thing, and trying to tune into a particular show was difficult, because I'd hear it, I'd tune past it, I'd turn it back, I'd tune past it, I'd turn it forward, I'd tune past it. It was a nightmare. It was really a nightmare to tune this thing. So the look and feel as far as tuning, and I think that was one of my options. I'm going to report card things down later, but wasn't good. It's got a little stand, like all of them seem to have. No big deal there. The antenna seems okay, but you definitely have to be a little careful with it. I can see that it's could break. And I've noticed a lot of used radios, cheaper radios, I said cheaper, inexpensive radios on eBay, used. A lot of them have the antenna broken because they're not very strong, so you have to be really, really careful. And so when you're raising it, you got to be really careful you don't stress it. And when you're extending it, the same thing. And once you have it extended, you have to be very careful that you don't hit something with it and snap it off. Very easy to do. Basically makes the radio unusable for portable use. So you have to clip an external antenna on it to use. Okay, speaking of which, there is no external antenna jack. Not at all. There's, excuse me, there's tuning, there's volume, big volume knob. Power on off is right here. Whoops, right here. Again, it's a slider. And again, it has a mechanical indicator that a white bar slides over, indicating that you got it on. So there's no LED or anything like that. Now, that's later. Okay, I won't tell you that later. Has a headphone jack. Now, I talked about readability, and I've kind of mixed all these things together, so I'm not going down my report card list too well. So I talked about readability, poor. I haven't talked about power options. Okay, it uses 2 AA batteries. There's 2 AA batteries. Here's the compartment right here. Easy to get in and out of. Some of these radios, the compartment is sometimes not easy to get out of. And it uses an AC adapter, which it doesn't come with. It does not come with the AC adapter. It requires 3 volts DC. So you can buy the adapter separately. I think it's almost as much as the radio. So you don't want to shop around if you want an AC adapter and get a better price. What else? I think that's about it. Let me just, I'm going to sit on my desk. You can't see it. And the little stand does, to me, it's tilted too far back. I can't show you here, but anyway, you can see it. Whoops, you can see it's almost straight out, so it makes it tilt back quite a bit. So you have to look right over the top of it to see it. You can't see it sitting on your nightstand and laying on your bed and looking at it. You can't see it. But there's not much to look at anyway once you've tuned it. So anyway, I think that's about it. The audio quality. Now let's try turning it on, and hopefully not get too much interference from all my computers. And
okay. What do we do to solve it? Well, President Obama calling again.
Sean by Bashar al-Assad. It was Sean by Bashar's young wife.
Well, that's FM.
Secretary of State James Baker
This is Kerry's second.
telling
That's interesting.
a lack of revenue, obviously, is not
2010. All right. Yes. American people are not.
Sounds like two stations are coming in on top of each other, and as I turn the radio,
To help Syrian opposition, and of course, he said there's no guarantee what.
it changes from one station to the other. So, obviously getting overloaded. Now,
My problem with
as far as tuning, it does have one feature in that, I don't know how practical it is. It does have a little red LED up here.
George H.W. Bush, the way you got things done was
That when you're tuning, theoretically, when you get it tuned right on the station, that red light comes on saying you're locked in. Theoretically.
it's so ugly.
Okay.
Hey, it's sort of almost a zero-sum game.
Trying to find.
The answer to it.
Yeah, that's it. We know the problem, but how to fix it?
Well, $85 billion is dropping the bucket. You think we can handle that?
9:70 a.m. And there's no doubt the wedding's in trouble right now.
Okay, that was actually AM radio. Again, it's hard for me to read this display, so I was on AM. And it was coming in pretty good in the, it turns down, and the audio, which was a talk show, was clear as a bell. So, but it was, you could tell it was getting overloaded. Matter of fact, I tuned like half the band of AM, and I got the same station all the way during that band. Not too good. Okay, let me see if I can get it where I wanted to go, which was FM. Okay. Bear with me.
Last year, Briscoe was awful at the start of the season. I'm not saying he was terrible. This season, he's been good.
Okay. There's FM. Again, it's suffering from overload. Let me put the put the antenna down, and that kind of helped the overload problem. But bottom line, AM and FM, once it gets tuned in, the audio is pretty good, but it's easily overloaded, and you get station on top of station, so it's not very good selectivity. So let me turn that noise off. Okay, special features. The only special feature I can think on this one is the little tuning LED. I don't know how useful that is, but that's what it is. So anyway, that's the review of the little Coby here, analog tuning, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison of reception. So going back to the report card, I would, for look and feel, I'm going to give it, again, trying to keep in mind this is only a $12 radio. I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to give it an A for look and feel. For readability, I'm going to give it a D. A D. It's really hard to read that display for me. The writing is very clear. It's just that the gray on black, it never works. Some people do that on their web page, and it's like unreadable. So anyway, that's a D. Power options, 2 AA batteries, AC adapter. Capability, no AC adapter. Yeah, give it a B. Yeah, B. It's only $12, so doesn't surprise me they don't have the AC conductor. So that's the power options. Tuning, even on AM and FM, it failed. I'm going to give it an F on tuning. I mean, this is terrible. Audio quality. Audio quality was pretty good once I got it tuned and it wasn't overloaded. So I'm going to give it, again, it's only 12. I'm going to give it a B. Not an A, but a B. Special features, there was one special feature, C. I'll give it a C. And then reception, you will do later, and then give it a final grade. So that's a review of the little Coby $12 shortwave AM/FM long wave. It does have long wave, so I guess I could add that to the special features and move that B up to a C because it does have long wave. Not useful, but it's got long wave. So I'm going to give it. Nah, it's still a C. Still a C on special feature. So anyway, that's a review for today. Now, the other thing is, again, as I said originally, I thought this was going to tune pretty good because it had 12 bands, 9 shortwave, and doesn't look too good. Doesn't look too good. And it's not continuous. The shortwave is not continuous, so it's mostly the what I call commercial bands. You can't tune into the amateur bands or anything like that because it skips. And as a matter of fact, what I did, this is going a lot longer than I thought. What I did is, here's a listing of the shortwave, so you can see it kind of jumps around, and it does have, like I say, it does have long wave. So that's the show for today. Again, if you can think of anything I should be looking at, again, I don't look at everything. Like I don't look for single side band capability. Just won't be in this kind of low price radio. So that's the show for today. Thanks for watching.